we could not go without talking about Madam Web. Um, if you've seen my reviews or even my reaction to Madam Web, it ain't the best. It's not the best. Ever since this movie was announced, ever since news dropped about the casting, about the directions, whatever rumors, anything, the excitement level has gone to being pretty much non-existent. Madam Web continued the very troubled pattern of taking Spider-Man spin-offs and not including Spider-Man in them. And while I totally understand some people thinking and believing that, well, it's a spin-off, it's about that character, nobody cares. Nobody cares about these spin-offs when Spider-Man's not even present. No one's even saying that Spider-Man needs to be the lead. No one's even saying that Spider-Man has to be in the movie 50% of the time. We're just saying if he exists in this world because all these characters are derivatives of him or his rights, character rights, the least y'all can do is put Spider-Man in the movies. Now, Madam Web is not a movie I'm going to recommend to people. I'm also not going to stop you from watching it, but I'm not going to endorse it. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going I I mean, I care about y'all. I care about y'all. I went to go see it for y'all. So, I'm not going to recommend it, but I encourage you to make up your own mind. And even though I don't care about this movie and the spoilers related to it, I'm still going to respect it to some degree. But just to give more context to what I was saying in my reaction, I did feel like this movie was trolling us because they kept teasing Spider-Man. They kept saying, like, haha, y'all like Spider-Man, right? You got to be quicker than that. Ha! You're not getting Spider-Man now, but we know you want it, but you're not going to get it. That's the way it felt. This movie felt like it was trying to tell a joke, but we was never laughing. We was never in on this joke with y'all. Have you ever had somebody make fun of you and think that you're laughing with them, but you're like, I'm not even laughing at all? And I'm really wondering, and I've had to wonder this, does Sony even get it? Do the people in charge of these movies, do they get it? Now, this is why I do what I do, right? One thing that I try to do is I try to give studios, producers, directors, actors, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And what I mean by that is I listen to what they say and I look at what they do and I use those type of things to inform how I think and feel about whatever they make. And guess what? If I thought something was a certain way, and then later on I have new information that, this is what the director really meant, and this is what the producer was trying to, I will go off of what y'all say over how I feel. And I'm always open to this, always open to using those type of bits of information to inform my opinion. Now, it might not always change, but I don't disregard it. Okay. That is why for the next bit of this segment, I'm not going to sit here and talk about how Madam Web is right now the lowest rated Sony Spider-Man Marvel movie to date. I'm not going to talk about how Madam Web is probably going to flop. I'm not going to talk about how Madam Web is rated lower than Morbius, even though I still think Morbius was better, but that's not saying anything. That it really is not. I'm not going to talk about that. What I do want to talk about, because again, I like to give the credit I want to go straight to the source. I want to talk about what the people behind these movies actually say and what they think because they've been interviewed. These are the producers, the people behind the camera, the people that make these decisions. And I want to take them for their word so that way, if and when I give them praise or criticism, I'm judging them fairly. And I want to go over what they've said in a couple interviews here so that you too can get a better understanding of where they're coming from. So let's go to the first point here. This is from I want to say one of the producers. Yes, this is from the main producer, Lorenzo. I can't say his other name, so we'll call him just Lorenzo. He said, "We made a decision early on that the advantage in this story was not to attach it to all these other stories. We tipped the hat, but really, we wanted to concentrate on a character journey." And I think some of the superhero fatigue that people talk about is because those movies are often not about the central character. Also, we felt it was a stronger choice for us to say this is Madam Web's story. So, you heard it from him first that they made a conscious decision not to tie this into anything else. I'm not even going to talk about, y'all know how I feel about that comic book movie fatigue stuff. I'm not going to get into that because they go into it later into the interview. Matter of fact, I don't, it's late. My blood pressure is getting up already. Um, I'm going to go to the actual interview. So this was a much more in-depth interview with Lorenzo. So this is the same producer. This is the same guy that's in charge of Madam Web, Sony movies, etc. And I want to talk about, again, we got to get in their heads. To be fair to them, we have to get in their heads and hear them out. And I'm going to read a couple quotes. And there might be a trigger alert. There might be. I don't know. But here's what they have to say about Madam Web. Okay. So it says here the question was it tricky not letting the film Spider-Man connections distract from the story you were trying to tell? Now he goes on to say that we made the choice from the very beginning. They made the choice on the beginning. Okay. He says, and our conscious decision at the beginning of the project was that we wanted to do a grounded character study. Once we made that decision, it became less hard. How do we attract the fans who know Madam Web from the comic books and also the non-fans? Y'all sat and had a meeting and thought about how can we get the fans that know about Madam Web and the non-fans back up. The comic fans that know about Madam Web, all 300 of them. You wanted to know how to get the the 300 people that read the comics and know about Madam Web? I know more people that learned about Madam Web from the animated Spider-Man cartoon than they do from the comics. That's not to say that's not a diss to comic readers. I'm just saying you're talking about a character that was like C-list at best. And let me kind of give this because this is one of the issues I have with producers sometimes. One of the issues is the fact that they don't really know what they're doing with these properties that they've probably inherited because they probably just look at these from a Hollywood lens. That's a whole nother conversation. And C-list was at best. This was at best for Madam Web. She could be D-list for sure. You should have never in your powwow meetings even considered, how do we get the comic fans? You know how you get the comic fans? By making a comic book movie. If it's comic book related, comic book fans are going to show up anyway. I know a lot of us talk a lot of talk. A lot of us comic fans will sit here and be like, man, it wasn't accurate to the comics. I'm not going to watch it. Yes, you are. Stop it. Stop it. You might not go opening day. A lot of y'all do. You might go stream it later. Whatever. You gonna see it because deep down inside, each and every one, I truly believe this. All of us comic book fans want every single comic book related property, whether it's TV, movies, animation, whatever. We all want them to just be good. We all want that. Even if we know it might be bad, we still go in there hoping, just a little bit of hope that it might be good. So trying to attract the comic book fan is a pointless endeavor. This is honestly one of the reasons why Marvel has been so successful to this date, because they've always known whatever we put out, y'all gonna show up, comic book fans. It's the same way how no matter who you are, if you're a video game fan, if it's a video game movie, you gonna show up. You gonna go watch that Mortal Kombat movie because you play Mortal Kombat. You gonna watch it. Whether you watch it in theaters or you watch it at home or whatever, you're going to watch it. So trying to get the target audience to an IP that's already established and has a fan base is not wise. They're going to show up anyway. The only thing you should be worried about is not triggering them by doing something stupid and outlandish, because they will be the most vocal and they can turn off your general audience that might be coming in, because that general audience will be like, man, I don't know nothing about these comics. Ooh, them comic fans don't like it. Maybe it's not worth my time, you know? So again, don't worry about the hardcore fans. They're going to show up. Just don't mess up with them. Just don't mess up. Just don't do nothing too crazy and wild and stupid, and the comic fans will be all right. Why? Because as comic fans, we're used to variation. We're used to things not always being 100% the same way. This is why we had the multiverse for decades. But that's just one point. This is one point. Let me go on. They go on here to ask, how important do you think it was to have an exciting filmmaker like S.J. Clarkson at the helm? This is still the producer talking. There's a lot of pressure on every film about what the studio wants, and in this case, what the Spider-Man fans want, and what else is being made that we're competing against. How dare you? How dare you? This is what I'm saying when I put in my review and in my reaction that it feels like Sony is trolling us. It feels like Madam Web is a troll job. What Spider-Man fans have you talked to? What Spider-Man fans are you even talking about? What polls did y'all take that let y'all even think Madam Web was something that fans was checking for? What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? How dare you even bring up Spider-Man fans? How dare you? I'm going to go on because I don't want. Let me just go on. I was finna cuss. Many people have been claiming that general audiences are getting superhero fatigue because of oversaturation in the market. Do you believe this is to be true? This is what the producer said. For instance, the first Iron Man or Christopher Nolan's Batman was successful to begin with. Those were really character based movies. And then when you start getting into these larger films where you're trying to connect all the worlds together, you're actually getting away from the emotional journey of the characters, of the central characters. So for me, part of the fatigue is that you have to keep track of everything now. It's almost like homework. With Madam Web, you don't have to know anything coming into the movie, which is getting to know them. He goes on to say, which is getting to know them and then going on a ride together. That makes it more character based and therefore engaging. It's not just about the spectacle. Trust me, if you've seen my movies, I love spectacle. Hold on, we're going to break this up, sir. Once again, how dare you? How dare you bring up Iron Man and the Nolan Batman movies? I'm going to give Mr. Lorenzo credit in saying that I totally agree with him that absolutely you do need to have the character driven aspect. Yes, you're right. And yes, that did work for Iron Man and it did work for the Batman series. You do want to drive the characters because what have we talked about before? Characters and story always matter. That's what makes these things popular. But, sir, how dare you put Madam Web even in this conversation? Because the difference with those movies is that they were good. They were good. Y'all hired the same people that made Morbius. How dare you? Come on. What? And you got the nerve to talk about superhero fatigue? You are the fatigue. You are the fatigue. I've been saying this before. Superhero fatigue is not real. It's not a real thing. Y'all make this up because y'all don't understand it's always about quality. It's not about timing. It's not about how much is out there. It's not a saturation. It is about quality. Y'all didn't say 2 words in 2018 when we was getting fire after fire after fire after fire. In 2017, we got Thor Ragnarok. Y'all didn't say nothing. We got Black Panther right after that. Y'all didn't say nothing. We got Infinity War. Then we got Endgame. Then we got Far From Home. Y'all didn't say nothing. 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 It's always been about quality. When things are good, we ain't tired of things being more good. But when things are bad, oh, that's when it's a problem. That is when it's a problem. So yes, when we got phase 4 and it was lacking Black Widow, when we getting them kind of mediocre TV shows, yes, we tired of mediocre to bad stuff. And guess what? Madam Web is bad stuff. So you are the superhero fatigue. It's you. It's not them. It's nothing else. It ain't no character-driven theory. No, it's you. Then he gonna sit here talking about like, oh, it's almost like homework. I don't care if this was homework or not. Spider-Man No Way Home might have been homework. A lot of people might have had to go see all those other movies. But guess what? They showed up. They went and go watch the GOAT, Tobey Maguire. They went and watched Andrew Garfield. They went and watched Tom Holland. And they sure enough made $1 billion off of that. So I don't think homework is a really big deal all the time. By the way, ain't nobody got to do no homework with your movie. It's still lacking. What's the problem? How's that excuse working out for you? It's character driven. No homework. Your movie's still trash. Now what? What else did he say? Then he goes on and says, "Trust me, if you see my movies, I love spectacle." You already know. We got to go pull up the tape. Let's go pull it up. All right. I looked him up. This is the guy. This is the guy who's been talking. Lorenzo. I can't say his name. Ace Ventura. I don't know. This is the guy who is in charge of Madam Web. Let's see what else he has done. Okay. As a producer. I only want to see producer. All right. Hold on. Let's see what he got upcoming. New York, Transformer. Okay, he's doing Transform. You doing Constantine 2? Lord, if you mess up Constantine 2, I'm going to fight you, sir. I will fight if you mess up Constantine 2. G.I. Joe, we'll see. Salt, okay, whatever. You doing another G.I. Joe? Dead Rising, okay. Red, I think that's the I don't know what that is. Whatever. All right, let's see what he's done so far in this 2024. All right, The New Look. I have not seen this. I don't know what it is. All right, 6.9 IMDb. That's pretty good. Madam Web, 3.8. Yikes. Yikes. Pet Cemetery, 4.6. The Meg 2, 5.0. Transformers, Rise of the Beast. That was okay. Plane, 6.5. That was all right. Snake Eye. Bro, you did Snake Eyes? That trash? Oh my God. You did Infinite with Mark Wahlberg. Jupiter's Legacy. Oh my God. You did Doom Annihilation. I'm done. This is the guy that did that. No, I don't care. I don't even care what else he's done. This is why I have trust issues. This is exactly why I have trust issues. Because I cannot. I guess this now explains why they hired the Morbius team again. Sony Pictures, for whatever reason, you have an unnatural allegiance to poor performing producers. I don't get it. Or creatives. I don't get it. And the reason why I don't get it is because Sony Pictures is also the same company that gave us the GOAT, Tobey Maguire, and you also gave us Andrew Garfield. Some of the movies not so great, but still good casting. You gave us the Spider-Verse movies. You're partnering with Marvel and giving us good stuff with Tom Holland. How can y'all get these wrong so bad? How? Why would you rehire the same writers that made Morbius flop? Morbius had on paper could have been good, but Jesus, the writing was terrible. And the writing in this movie was atrocious as well. What is wrong with y'all? Like, what? Listen, can we be honest for a second? Like, I know they're not watching this. I know they're not paying attention to me, but I'm just saying, can we be real for a second? We all know that y'all just want to keep the rights of Spider-Man. We all know that you guys just really want to make sure that every couple of years, according to your contract, that you maintain the rights of Spider-Man. I'm not mad at that. Y'all bought Spider-Man for $5 million something and made a couple $1 billion since. I'm not mad at the hustle at all. Make your money. But damn, it feels like y'all just don't want more money. We will come pay for this. We'll pay for a spinoff. Y'all just cracked open a whole Spider-Verse. That lets us know that y'all can make up whatever Spider-Man you want. You can even put Spider-Pig in there if you want to. But this weird obsession of trying to make Spider-Man spinoff movies without Spider-Man even being in it. And then it keeps on coming back. Yes, I get it. Venom came back, made y'all some money, probably puffed up your head a little too much, but you should have learned your lesson with Venom 2. And you really should have learned your lesson after Morbius Part 1 and then the redo. Don't forget the time y'all put it out in theaters twice. How you gonna put a movie out twice to flop twice? Who does that? I don't. It's literally y'all money to lose. Y'all could literally just make 400, 500,000 million dollars. You know, it is what it is. And here's the reason why I bring this up. When we knew that Marvel Studios did not have the rights to the X-Men, we understood. We gave them a pass. When we knew that Fox Studios only had the rights to the X-Men and not anybody else, we knew, we understood, and we let them rock. Even when we knew Sony only had the rights to Spider-Man, we was like, all right, cool. We're not expecting the Avengers or Fantastic Four to show up. We are sophisticated enough to understand when these character rights are an issue or whatever. Here's my thing with Sony. If y'all just can't use Spider-Man because there's a let's say an unspoken agreement, a handshake deal or something with Marvel, just say that. Just say that you can't do it because of our current deal with Marvel. We just can't have more than one live action Spider-Man. Everyone will be like, you know what? Cool, we understand. Because it's business. It's business. We understand. But the problem here, and this is the biggest disconnect that I don't think Sony is understanding. When you're not candid with people, and let's just say there is no business agreement, right? Let's just say Sony has always been free to just use Spider-Man or another Spider-Man if they wanted to. The disconnect here is the fact that if you guys are doing this and you see these movies are not even critically acclaimed, you're seeing fans are not even coming to support you at all, it's going to come off, and I mean this nicely, it's going to come off as pure incompetence. It's coming off as y'all don't know what the hell you're doing. And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying, what is the problem here? And it also bothers me that other journalists are also not asking these questions. I know Sony ain't finna invite me, so I don't care. I can be critical of them right now. I will give them praise when they do great things like Spider-Verse, but I'm gonna give them some heat with stuff like this too. Why is nobody asking the actual question? Where the hell is Spider-Man? Is there some sort of restriction as to why you cannot put Spider-Man in your movies? If there is, we understand. If they're not, why for come? Because y'all can't be this slow. Y'all cannot. You cannot keep looking at all them green rotten tomatoes from both fans and critics and keep saying, let's do it again. The interviewer did ask a question. So you see it? Do you see a future with these three Spider Women and more spin-off films or a Madam Web sequel? Producer goes on to say, so hopefully coming out of this experience with Madam Web, the audience is going to embrace us enough to be able to tell the next story. I got to read that again. I'm sorry. Let me read it again. So hopefully coming out of this first experience with Madam Web, the audience is going to embrace us enough to be able to tell the next story. It's been a while. We got to hit him with a Sagat laugh. What? What? We got to end on that. We got to end on that. I'm sorry. That's this topic done. This topic done. Ain't no way. Y'all thought y'all was gonna get a sequel? You thought we was feeling you? The fact that you didn't even think that when this was announced and the people were already kind of sort of like, that lets me know that y'all must live in the tightest, smallest of silos that's not connected to like the outside world. Do y'all have the internet? Like, I have to ask these questions, and I know they sound insulting, but it seems like the worst kept secret that fans, Spider-Man fans, do not like your movies, and neither do general audiences when it comes to the spinoffs without Spider-Man. Again, we'll give them praise for the good stuff that they've been doing, but golly, y'all act like y'all don't know what you're doing. And I gotta ask Sony Pictures, why y'all keep hiring this dude? I mean, I don't know what else he's done, but it's like, did y'all look at I mean, we just went through the resume. I don't know the guy. I'm pretty sure he's great. I'm just saying, I probably would not trust a money-making IP with someone with that track record. So this is not a personal shot at Lorenzo. This is not a personal shot. I'm just saying, based off of your work, nah, bro. Next. Who's the next up and comer? That's all. I can't. There's too. I'm done. I'm done with this. You guys let me know. What did you think about Madam Web? Did you enjoy it? Did you even see it? Do you plan on seeing it? And what do you think about the thoughts and the mindset of the producers and the people in charge of this movie? Maybe you align with it. Maybe you agree with them. Maybe you don't. Whatever you think, let me know your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.